Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. So with that, let's get up to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, so the folks here, they are bundled up, but they're ready for football as you get a look at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. It's the final 3 weeks of the season, still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
But we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Dalton, that's complete to John Ross. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Dalton here from the gun. Got a man, it's Aitman, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. Jet sweep, Boyd with it. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And a look now at the Cincinnati offense.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Hands up, lead. 52's the mic. I got it. Shit.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sand. Myles Garrett, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 15. First carry for Nick Chubb. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Tackle made there by Nick Perry. So here's the starting 11, and the human highlight reel, Odell Beckham Jr., watch out for him.
One of the few guys in the league that gets you and I out of our hotel rooms early to get here for pregame warm-ups and watch him go through his routine. He's absolutely amazing catching the football.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Williams. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3.
Good solid gain on 1st down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
We got 4. We got 4.
On 2nd and 7, Dalton to the left side here for Eifert.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down at will.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. So Dalton now. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama.
Oh, yeah!
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He completes it to Boyd. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Anderson is the lone man in the backfield here as they get set for a 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Right here, right here.
Dalton on 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, the drive started the shadow of their own goalpost all the way back at the 2. Pretty nice job of getting downfield and at least getting 3.
Agreed on that one. A real nice job because really their goal was to get out of the shadows of those goalposts and give themselves a little bit of room to help out their defense. Instead, they got 3 points out of it.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 41. A run for Nick Chubb. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Carl Nassib there on the tackle. Defensive starters, here they are for Cincinnati. And they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the number 1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Alert, 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 alert.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they're facing a very tough 3rd and 11. Now Mayfield. And he's caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Oh, what a juke into space. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rear view. And I think the ball's out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Mayfield looks to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. This will be caught at about the 6. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to get...
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Demetrius Harris, his 2nd touchdown. On the season, and the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Elliott on for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. Double this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Here's Dalton. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Now Landry. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On the ground, it's Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And all the way down to the 24-yard line. And they will finally get to him down at the Bengals' 24. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
He's got his man. That's Landry. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Despite only needing 1, Dalton to throw. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. From midfield here, Dalton.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. This will be Dalton again. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. The Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. And it'll be Dalton again. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 19-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
Dalton operating in the red zone now. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. C.J. Uzomah, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in a second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Zerline good with a PAT, and it makes the score 21-10. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Hey, alert 33. Hurry!
Third and short yardage. Mayfield. He's going to float this one deep right. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Good stuff. Keep doing it.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on third down. I mean, you just need a yard or two to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, as the first half is winding down, as his guys are back within a single score. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They set up the screen to Chubb. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
It's a first down on a gain of 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Tackled by Jordan Willis.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take it.
And again, it's Chubb. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
180. Hey, alert 33. All day. I got you.
Now Chubb. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And down inside the 15 he goes.
We got this.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Come on, boy.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. It's a jet sweep. They get it to Green. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense is going to take over at their own 20-yard line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
He's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. On 2nd and 9, Mayfield flush to his right, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. A gain of 13, it's a first down.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom, he took advantage of it. A toss play to Chubb. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught.
Here we go. Here we go.
A gain of 19 on 3rd and 18, and that'll move the chains.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Mayfield now, eluding the pressure right. He can run for it. And now Mayfield lost the football, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, He knows he's only as good as his last kick.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Dalton, 1st and 10. Green with a catch left side. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Dalton. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. C.J. Uzomah, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
He'll let it go deep for Beckham, and that's caught inside the 30. A big play that time for Cleveland. 47 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way, just reached up and pulled it in, had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this 1st down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Go!
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Dalton got a man open. It's Ross. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. 1st and 10 for Dalton. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play, 2nd and 3. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Boyd. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Open man is Uzama. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Dalton on the draw to Mixon. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. And Dalton to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
This is taken at the 3.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game, for here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And now a pass dumped off to his running back. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. On the carry, it's Chubb. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Browns on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 20-yard line. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They toss it left side to Chubb. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It'll go as a gain of 12, and that should just about wrap this one up.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
It's first and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up second and goal at the 9-yard line.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for the Browns, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon.